hold this ends on mute.
Can we swear?
You can swear. It's the Stiff Upper Lip podcast. Who really gives a fuck?
We really encourage it.
It is actually very much encouraged. Right.
I was asking for Kieran, to be honest, mate. Weren't me? I can hold my tongue. You know what I mean?
So we're AEW and not WWE tonight, then, yeah?
Yeah, we've pretty much been AEW this whole time. Maybe even like 2004.
I don't know what that means. Is that
TNA.
Wrestling?
It is wrestling.
Yeah, it's wrestling.
Jesus,
It's
I'll
wrestling.
get Miss Speedo on.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Hello, and welcome to Stiff Upper Lip Podcast, the NFL podcast by Brits. We are in partnership with Gridiron Xtra, and we are returning for our third season. So yeah, on we begin with me, Ed.
Me, Emma.
I'm Sam.
I'm Max Saito.
And I'm Tom.
Go on, you boys in blue.
You like that? You like that?
Shut the hell up!
Analytic Wunderkind.
Ron Rivera should be the Senator of Washington.
West Wing Asapid.
Other than the COVID toe.
Jesus Christ!
It's the Royal Grumble! We're finally on with the fucking annual Royal Grumble, second year in a row. And this time we've pushed the absolute boat out because we have got a massive host of guests here to join us. As always, courtesy of last year, we've got Kev from the Draft Punks, but we've also got his pal Liam. How the fuck are you both doing?
Awesome, mate. Thanks for having us back. Very enjoyable last year. Looking forward to this year and for finding random reasons to hate people and teams.
Nice.
I can't wait, mate. I'm going to go all Andre the Giant in this Royal Rumble, to be honest, mate. Not on Ed this time, on a few of the shite NFL teams, but I'm looking forward to it, mate.
We've also got Simon from the Touchdown. Simon, are you about ready to kick a seaplane into the ocean?
Don't start, Tom. No, it might have been funny to you guys. I was very frustrated already. I don't even like wrestling. How's that for a bombshell? No, I am actually looking forward to it. Much like Kev says, just finding your random reasons and justifying them. I think that's pretty much what we all like to do when it comes to the NFL anyway, isn't it, really? Considering none of us have really... We've all adopted teams, haven't we? So they must be for random reasons. So why not kick people over the top rope for random reasons? Let's do it.
Hell yeah. We've also got Kieran and hopefully later on Lee from the Full 10 Yards. How are you doing, Kieran?
31 degrees outside, 60% humidity. I want to end myself.
Perfect wrestling conditions then.
Oil me up, baby.
And then finally, we've also got Ben and James from Gridiron Xtra and the podcast formerly known as Franchise 33. Firstly, have you both actually got a new name yet? Secondly, how are you both doing?
Well, I'll go first. Yeah, all good, mate. We do have a new name. It's going to be the Franchise Nation, but I think Ben spoiled that on the last podcast. Actually, I was going to try and do it as like a tease on Twitter, and Ben just spewed it out. So it's all good.
Damn it! I was
Well,
hoping.
as you did.
I was hoping
Well,
we
you-
had like an exclusive scoop then.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could have really bigged that up. Then you could have made it exclusive. Instead, you targeted me and put all the blame onto me. So I think the fucking Royal Rumble is going to be between you and I, James. I've got to get you back for that Super Bowl loss one day, I suppose. So now's probably the most appropriate time.
Oh, I have no doubts that I'm going to be the first person out. My team's definitely getting nowhere in this, so I'm happy with that.
And
I do have
the
a-
belligerent energy that's already here.
Yeah.
That's something, isn't it?
I do have a really, really quick wrestling joke. I think you'll all like it.
Go on.
So, what do Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell have in common with Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura?
Go on.
They were both better in black and gold.
Hey. I love it. All right, and then finally,
the people here. That's quite funny.
And then finally, we've got Ed, Sam, and Max, and myself as well. But how the hell are you three doing?
I'm ready and raring with all of my prejudices.
Yeah, I This might have been my favourite show of the SULP calendar last year, so I'm very eager to dive back into it.
You buried us at the bottom of the guest list there, Tom, but the thing you have to remember is that the cream will rise to the top.
Oh, I was just saving the best till last. You know, when the champions get announced at the end of all the entrances. That's how it always goes. But yes, the Royal Grumble. Now, Ed has kindly devised a wonderful picking order, which I may have flexed my admin muscle to get myself right at the top of this list, because I will be going first. But if anyone doesn't understand the Royal Grumble and didn't listen to last year's, everyone goes around the horn to pick a team to be eliminated from this battle royal of relevance. There are no rules on who can be eliminated. Once they're out, you can find them boring, dislike their colours, their unis, their players, their coaches, whatever reason you can find to chuck them over the top rope. Anything goes. This will happen from 32 to 3, with the final 2 going down to a popular vote of everyone here. Does that sound about reasonable for everybody? Are we ready to get this show on the road?
Let's do it, mate. Let's do it.
Let's go! I don't have like I need like a bell or something. I've got a gong.
It's a broken glass. That's what you want.
There's a
Can
gong
you
in the
not play
bedroom.
that gong before I talk, please? That's a little bit too WWE.
Oh god. And this should come as absolutely no surprise to the fact that I requested the 30-second pick to get the first team out of the way. I am throwing the Cleveland Clowns over the top rope. Now, nobody who's listened to the show will be surprised by this, but I fucking hate the Cleveland Browns. They are a turgid, morally decrepit franchise of clowns and losers. They have sunk to the bottom of the moral compass after years of being at the bottom of the competitive landscape and they make me sick. And after everything that happened this past off-season, they almost won it last year, and I'm not fucking letting that happen again. Get the fuck over the top rope. You are out, sunshine. Get them gone.
Absolutely no. It was like when Kev kicked out Washington last year. Quite hard to argue against that.
Yeah, unless you want to take a pro-sexual harassment stance. It's... And I will say, there aren't many going around.
Not outside of professional wrestling.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's a litany of things unsaid that could also put the Browns over the top rope is kind of maybe the most telling thing of all. I mean, I'll throw it out to one of the guests. Liam, what are your thoughts on the Browns going first?
To be honest, there's far worse teams in the NFL for me, especially in the NFC North. But as far as the AFC North go, yeah, the fucking shit. Can't stand them. Fuck off.
Oh god. All right.
Yeah, that is the energy. That is the energy we're all hoping for. So, Tom, you were supposed to post the put the video on, but obviously because we're on Zoom, it's not happening. So yeah, our next pick at pick 31. That's Mr. Ben Matthews. Who've you got?
Oh, well, that's a nice surprise. It's pretty clear for me, to be fair. The Arizona Cardinals. I mean, who are the Arizona Cardinals? Just a completely pointless franchise. I mean, Phoenix, Arizona, it's a fucking retirement community. Let's be quite frank. Why on earth they deserve a franchise there? Who knows? I mean, just look at what they've done in recent years. Cliff Kingsbury, fuck me, he's fallen up, hasn't he? He's just basically repeating what he did in college now in the NFL. You know, it's just the cycle's going to continue repeating itself. Part of me, as a Seahawks fan, would be quite happy for them not to be thrown over the top rope, just because of the fact that it's quite amusing to see them kind of race out to, 6-2, 8-1 starts, and then just fail for the rest of the season. They're screwing over Kyler Murray. I mean, he's being a bit greedy and he's being a bit of a mardy ass, of course, but nevertheless, it's not a particularly very well managed franchise. Draft was a little bit all over the place as well this year, and I just think, the Cardinals. Just what's the point?
Hardly
Andy Isabella.
That's the highlight.
Friend of the show, Andy Isabella, will be phoning in to say how
He doesn't know that he's a friend of the show.
Oh, God. I love the energy, Ben. You've immediately grasped exactly what this concept's all about.
Well, I'm glad because I had no idea, to be quite frank. So, you know.
You don't need an idea, but just shoot from the hip.
Yeah, he would have gone on that diatribe regardless of the format.
Yeah, it's like you're probably right there, to be quite honest.
All that happened was we unmuted the mic at the right time. Like, it started before then. I mean, I can't believe that. Part of me, we should have known because it's a Seahawks fan picking second. But part of me can't believe the Cardinals have gone so early.
Why?
I don't know.
What redeeming qualities does that franchise have to be kept on? Just that they're middle of the road, middle of the road. So maybe they'll stay kind of till halfway in this Royal Rumble, But again, that's not inspiring in any way. Why would you want to kind of stay middle of the road? You're not bad enough to be kind of considered a laughing stock. You're never going to be good enough, so no one gives a shit about trying to knock you off the parapet. It's the Cardinals.
I don't know that you have to explain that to a Vikings fan.
Oh. Go on, Kieran, what was your point?
Why the fuck would you hire a college head coach, a guy who runs the air raid, by the way, so all his quarterback numbers are absolute fraudulent bollocks.
Yeah.
But why would you take this guy who took 5 wins in his last season at Texas Tech? Like, the Big 12 is not really a flagship fucking conference in college football. Oklahoma, okay. Texas, suck a bag of dicks. And that's the 2 best teams you're contending with. Absolute fraudulence from that front office to be like, well, he's young and Sean McVay's young. This will probably work out. No, it's fucking bollocks. You're ruining your team. You're making a bad reputation for Arizona. You make me feel bad about my hairline, even though I'm 5 years fucking younger than you. It just is beggars belief that they thought that this could work. If you are a college coach who has Patrick Mahomes, you make him throw 45 times in a game. How bad are you that your quarterback has 750 plus passing yards in a game and you still lose to a team led by Baker Mayfield? Just fuck out of here, man.
And you know what bothers me about the Cardinals? That Murray still wants to leave when he's in a system that he couldn't find any more perfect for himself. Little Muggsy Bogues running around behind that line trying to throw stuff. And he still wants to leave. That tells you how bad everything is.
You guys are all burying the lead. You're all burying the lead. There's something a bit sinister about Cliff Kingsbury. If I had kids, I wouldn't leave him with him. I think that's pretty much it nailed on the head.
We've got the fucking nonce accusation. Let's go.
That's sinister, I said.
It's fucking happened. Pick 2, Cliff Kingsbury's a nonce.
At least one toddler-sized human I can think of. And you know what toddlers are like? They always want to go different places, don't they? They're never content with being where they are. So I'm not surprised Skylar wants out.
He's actually 74 years old. He just eats babies. That's what Simon meant by sinister.
God.
Is it?
This is better than we could have imagined.
Yeah.
Kingsbury.
They are like the desert in which they reside, lifeless, lightless, airless. Also the cornerbacks are fucking garbage as well. So, I've not got that thing. So I don't know why that's just popped into my head. But hey ho. And Jeff Gladney. I mean, what the fuck? Why?
Oh God. I feel like we need to pull Ben away so that we can focus on someone else.
I like how we're ragging.
He's just unloading shots.
I like how we're ragging on a team who more than one. They're ragging on the Cardinals more than a team who have a literal sexual predator as their quarterback.
Well, we've come up with the definition that we're not going to talk about the Browns any more than throwing them over the top rope, whereas the Cardinals haven't done anything that's morally abhorrent so far.
Until they signed Gladney.
Well, yeah.
They gave Cliff Kingsbury $100 million. That's the most morally repugnant thing that's happened in the league in the past 5 years.
All right, let's move on, because conscious of we have 30 other teams to throw over this fucking top rope. Sam, who are you throwing over?
Every second of this endeavor where we still have to consider the Chicago Bears as a option was more painful than anything I've ever experienced. That I can't stand another year of them with I guess he's an unknown quantity at quarterback behind a fucking awful O-line, and they've lost the two best guys from it, and a receiving core that's dog shit. If your biggest get of the season was who was it? It was fucking, I don't know, Equanimous St. Brown. It's not going to make your eyeballs pop out of your head. It's an awful franchise. I hate it. I hate them. Ow! Now.
I'm receiving a telegram from Emma, Sam. I think she's telling you to fuck off.
Hashtag 1985. That's probably how she signed it off as well. That's what they never fucking go on about.
Oh.
I don't think there's any other team in the league who would get their hands on the quarterback they wanted really badly and then decide to actually now is the time to do a fire sale.
Just completely fuck him. He's got no one to throw to.
Yeah,
They're not going to be able to get open against anyone.
It was on our radar last year that he just kept taking these massive hits, and it was partially because he sometimes doesn't really know how to take a hit, and partially it was because players were just leaving a bit extra on him, and no one was really sure why. And it seems like his own his own franchise have been riled up by him. It's literally like Terrell Pryor all over again.
You think the GM thought he was drafting for the Vikings? His first two picks were a corner and a safety. Do you think he thought he got the wrong job? And then he drafted a receiver who, quote, was a man amongst boys because he was a man amongst boys. He's 25 years old and he's playing against 19 and 20 years old.
It will just continue with the trend of the Chicago Bears only having two Pro Bowl quarterbacks in their entire history.
Yeah,
and one of those selections was
Trubisky.
as an alternate. It's a shithole franchise. Shithole.
Aren't saying enough bad words about them.
Well, I think on that then we best move to is it pick 28 with James? No, pick 29 with James.
I'm going to try and do this wrestling promo style. Try and get with the vibe.
Give us your best Macho Man impression.
I can't do Macho Man. I can do Hulkamania, though.
Yeah, give us a Hogan. Without the racial incident.
No. Let me tell you something, brother. Do you know which team I hate the most in the NFL? It is the Miami fucking Dolphins. For one, I am sick to death of the fact that every single year, those fucking guys in their 70s now who are not wrong or relevant get together to celebrate the fact that they had an undefeated season 8 million years ago. No one gives a fuck.
18 and 1. Much?
Yes, I'm salty. I don't care. I'm going to be salty till the end of days. I don't care. Not only do they have an absolutely terrible former Alabama quarterback who is not as good as Mac Jones, not only are they just the worst team in the AFC East, they got rid of one of the best young coaches in the league after he won them 9 fucking games last year, dragging them out of the mud, kicking and screaming. They got rid of him. They just need to get the fuck out of the league. I'm sick of the Dolphins. They're not a historic franchise. See you later. Gone.
I was stunned silence followed, as I don't think anyone expected the Dolphins would go this early.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Tyreek Hill. He beats kids. What more do I need to say?
I think everyone expected the Dolphins to go this early. Oh, man. If honestly, Deshaun Watson aside, if you asked me to point to the most abhorrent NFL player, I would point squarely in Tyreek Hill's face.
Now Big Ben's retired, you mean?
Yeah, now Big Ben's retired, obviously.
No, just checking.
I mean, there is also Jameis Winston that you could point at.
Yeah. I think I'd cast a wide net if I was looking for general bastards.
And now he's had the LASIK, he'll be able to see.
We're not talking Jameis right now. I guess we move on then. The man who needs no introduction, Kieran. Who have you got at 28?
So, you're probably thinking I'm going to go Steelers. But now Captain Fatfuck is gone. I don't hate them anymore. I think they're a very good team, and I have a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin. People probably could have said the Commanders, because Dan Schneider is the only man on earth who could possibly fuck up a money printing machine. But I've gone for something different because we've got to go for a team that's poorly managed, has selected bad head coaches, has bad draft picks that reek of nepotism when you know the stories behind them. The New York Giants, they're just such a poorly run team, from Ben McAdoo to Daniel Jones getting drafted because he worked out at a camp and Eli Manning said hello to him, or some absolute rubbish. Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, just absolute dog shit franchise from top to bottom, and they are still clinging on to, when we beat Brady twice, with 2 lucky throws. Absolutely dog shit franchise. No one gives a fuck that Lawrence Taylor isn't there. No one gives a fuck now that dude who does morning TV isn't there. Just stripped from top to bottom. You used to have stars like Victor Cruz and, like I said, LT. And
Weird
now
flex.
it's just a really, really shit franchise that no one gives a fuck about because it's the biggest media market in possibly the world in New York. And this is what you've got. A kid from Duke who can't even run 80 yards without tripping over himself, and a running back who gets hurt at the thought of having to have a carry. It's just bad. It's just bad. And Kadarius Toney is a knobhead too.
I've just literally watched Sam go through all stages of grief in about 5 seconds just then. He went through bargaining, acceptance, anger, denial in literally the moment that you started the word New York Giants, and by the time you'd finished them, he'd already gone through the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a glistening, salty tear rolling down that cheek.
I think that can be applied to, certainly all of the Gettleman era, and it's not like anything's happened since that you can be that jazzed about. So I don't resent it that much. But I still resent it.
You have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, you have to stand up for yourself and stumble about 75 to 80 yards forwards in a desperate attempt to...
Kieran started with Ben McAdoo, who I'm pretty sure has been their most successful post-Coughlin coach.
It's Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, that mustache
Looks like a divorcee who hangs around outside massage parlors with both his hands in his cargo shorts.
How dare you? That's Matt Rule's rockstar coordinator.
Kingsbury vibes.
Hey!
Kingsbury vibes.
He's the Van Halen of the NFC
Ben
South.
McAdoo is the guy your mum dates after a messy divorce.
His hair.
He is lounge lizard to a T. I am pretty
his
sure he's
haircut
not
was
allowed
better with the
around
Giants.
most playgrounds in New York. Not because he's on any register, just because of the way he fucking looks.
He's not even part
It's
of
just
the
because he
franchise
keeps trying
anymore,
to
and I
bench
love
the
it.
kids for Geno Smith.
There's been... I didn't think we'd achieve a higher, nonce accusations per minute ratio than last year, but...
Look,
hot dog.
sometimes you can't judge a book by a cover.
In theory, in theory, one positive of the conceit of this episode is that as we get towards the end, there'll be fewer nonce accusations.
Don't count your chickens, man. We'll see about that. We'll see.
Oh god.
Well, Sai, you're up now. Is there anyone you'd like to cast aspersions about?
No, we'll steer clear. I think you'll find a theme through mine. We're going to go with the Broncos, just for crimes against fashion. Really, there's back in the halcyon days of Jay Cutler under center. They used to wear that nice navy blue jersey with the orange touch on it. It was a beautiful jersey, and I'll say that even as a Chargers fan, I thought it was a very smart uniform. And then someone online where John Elway came back, he decided to change to that god awful tangerine mess that goes through me every time I see it. I cannot stand it. It's just that simple, guys. I can talk all day about different aspects that the Broncos don't like, but that was the main reason why they went straight to the top of my list. And there's always one guy who runs into the wrestling ring, isn't there? Every time, full of bluster, and then he just gets swiped straight out. That's the Broncos for me, straight out. If anyone came, I wouldn't even speak to a family member if they wore that colored t-shirt in my ring. I can't stand it. I don't understand why they've literally chosen to go for a worse colour T-shirt than they had already. It's not like they're compelled to wear it because the Packers, you've had it for 60 years, and it's part of the kind of like mantra. They've just chosen. I don't understand. They had it right and they've fucked it up, and it's pissed me off. And it pales into insignificance compared to some of these accusations. But I saw as soon as I lined up this podcast, though, the Broncos going straight to the top for me.
Yeah, I do like the kind of overly enthusiastic, plucky little upstart running into the ring metaphor, because I do think Russell Wilson reminds me a lot of the Hurricane.
I think that the Broncos got eliminated for this exact same reason last year as well.
Did they?
Yeah,
brilliant.
I'm pretty sure. Like, it seems like at the moment there's 3 certainties in life of death, taxes, and the Broncos getting eliminated in the top 10 of the Grumble for having shit uniforms.
I'd take the Seahawks Solero over the Broncos home.
Sam, you're in absolutely zero position to talk about uniforms.
Yeah.
Hey, it's classic.
Your uniform takes are a monstrosity.
I'm sorry, I don't want like a button down.
You know what? If NFL players played in tuxes, I would support that team because they'd be classy. They'd be a classy outfit.
That sounds like a game a sexual pervert would support.
We're up to 3. Let's go.
What is Russell Wilson's thing for? Because obviously he had Go Hawks.
Let's ride.
Let's ride, Broncos country. Let's do it. Let's ride. Ride your ass out the ring. Get out.
His new one is my wife is rich. I can play wherever I want.
Not as catchy that.
They need to be thrown over the top rope specifically for the social media shite that they're putting out. Did you see the video that they did with Elway and Wilson and called The Intern, where he replaced Peyton Manning as the best intern of all time? And this is not just me being salty because Russell's left, but the problem that we had as Seahawks fans was the fact that we had to, we had some magic on Sundays, but we had to put up with Russell Wilson between Monday to Saturday. And
bit sickly.
And that cheese.
Yeah.
Are you arguing that Drew Lock or Geno Smith cannot produce magic?
Well, no, I know, but it's gone up a notch since he's joined Denver, and some of the stuff that they've been doing is just turgid, to be fair. So that's for me why I would agree.
I don't care. I like Carlton from the Fresh Prince.
If you walk into any recruitment consultancy company within a mile of the city of London, you will be greeted by 2 men who look exactly like John Elway and Russell Wilson.
It's always better when Elway turns up on his little scooter as well. Fantastic.
Elway scooter destroyed.
Imagine him in a trap style jacket, whopping around London.
Yeah, I can do that very, very easily. Right, if we move on next, we've got Max.
Oh, it's me. I'm actually going to do the unthinkable and remove the Buffalo Bills. Because...
What?
A collective
Oh
gasp.
my God.
Because I have a personal grudge against the Bills. I did think about getting rid of the Patriots, but then James did his oh, we're the Patriots, so everyone hates us. Patriots fan bit, and I was like, actually, I changed my mind. So I'm going to get rid of the Bills because they've got this air of presumption about them that's like, oh, we're going to be the next big thing now. You blew it. You had 13 seconds to hold on, and the Bills probably wouldn't have blown the AFC Championship game like the Chiefs did. So maybe the Bills would have been in the Super Bowl if they could hold on to a lead for 13 seconds. This is a personal vendetta I have with the offense going back to last year on this podcast, where I thought they would underperform, and they did look inconsistent for stretches during the early part of the season. But it just sort of snowballed into this bit that I hated Josh Allen. I didn't believe in him as a man. And I just think I might lean into that because it's quite a funny bit. So I'm officially throwing the Bills out. And also, I think it's good to upturn the apple cart in this format. I just think it's funny.
I'm happy with them. The fact that they got a rule change. You look at recent rule changes with the Packers having the rule change because their QB got hurt. I mean, that's a bit desperate. You look at rule changes.
It was physical assault, Kev.
Well, I mean, I think I'm in charge here. I think I can do mute here somewhere. The Saints had reasonable beef, even though they whined enough about it. The Bills got the rule change because they couldn't stop someone from wandering 80 yards in 13 seconds.
Thank you, Kev.
That's not why you get a rule.
completely
You
agree.
get rule changes because you can't play defense. Get out of
In
here.
fairness, the Chiefs weren't stopping them either, and the Chiefs were the first team to bring up this rule change 3 years ago.
In fairness, the rule change should have been that teams aren't allowed to call prevent defense in the 2-minute warning. That should have been the real rule change.
If they really wanted to stop the Chiefs,
That's a bad idea.
They could. What they were going to add BJ Hill to the defense. I don't think that was the missing piece. I think they just had no spine.
And that, putting people through tables as well, even on a podcast full of wrestling like references, that's getting a bit annoying now as well, isn't it? A bit bored of it. Let's move on from that.
It's the coolest thing about them.
I knew I'd started Ralph.
But they raise so many millions of dollars for charity every year. You can't hate a team
whatever.
that does
I don't
such
care.
good shit.
I wonder
Why
if
didn't they build a
took money
dome?
away from charities. It's fucking dope.
Why didn't they build a dome? That's my question.
Because
Here we go.
hard men play in the snow.
Mina
Or so the
Kimes,
guys on TV.
Mina
tell me.
Kimes had a goddamn aneurysm over this, and I agree. Build a fucking dome.
I'm disgusted.
Max versus the state of Buffalo seems to be the.
I mean, a genuine, legitimate favourite contenders just gone over the top rope. Liam, you're up next.
How you doing, mate? Team I'm eliminating, man, are the fucking New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
How the hell are they still in this fucking competition? I can't stand it. I'm glad that smug fucking cunt Sean Payton's gone. I can't have his face. Fucking trying to do the Minnesota fucking mirror clap. I can't. That when Diggs run that touchdown, the Minneapolis Miracle, absolutely done me. They've done Bounty Gate. But to be honest, I'm glad he's out. I'm glad he's gone, Sean Payton. I couldn't stand the fucking prick. And I can't stand the black and gold. Who that? Fuck that. Get off the top rope.
Oh, that was majestic.
I love it.
I mean, let's be frank. I'm picking next. They weren't making it past my pick, but the fucking.
Oh yeah, jump in, you fucking I would tag team them.
No.
Like the bitches they are.
Oh, what do I say? Yeah, the fucking Farm Foods Thunderdome that they play in as well.
Oh, I can't stand the fucking shithole. Fuck off.
What is it? Is it the Little Caesars Superdome?
I wish the fucking hurricane fucking took it out.
It's Caesar's Casino, not Little Caesar's Pizza.
You sure? I could swear it was Little Caesars.
How are you going to fucking fund a stadium selling large pizzas for $5? You must be fucking mental.
Get him out of here.
This is unbelievable. I fucking love this episode.
I thought I was salty about the Giants beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Fuck me.
Right, I guess if no one has anything else to say, I guess it's my pick. And you guys all know that I have a... Oh, yeah, no, it is me. It is me, Kev. You're up next. Don't cry. Yeah, I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit here. I can't believe the fucking Dallas Cowboys are still on this list. The Cowboys... They're just fucking... Look at Jerry Jones. What is he doing, Max? Injecting the semen of young men into his body to keep himself fresh.
Yeah, that guy is a nonce.
Yeah, they select 1+ non/child abuser every draft just to join their ranks of awful human beings. Their stadiums are a big fucking toaster. It's just a shithole. Fire Detroit. Sorry, not Detroit. I mean, you can fire Detroit into the sun, but also fire Dallas into the sun.
They don't even play in Dallas. And you know what else? Trayvon Diggs, the most overrated season in human history of any sport.
Dog shit. 10 interceptions don't mean shit when you've been burned more time than an Irishman in the sun. It's ridiculous. You can't give up the most yards and then be like, well, I'm in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. No, you're fucking not. Go back home, you dickhead.
Yeah, I mean, it is easy to get interceptions when you get targeted more than anyone else on the field because you're a complete liability.
Right. Final point on the Cowboys. Nothing about the Cowboys whatsoever is cowboy themed. Like nothing
That is
about them is
excellent.
actual cowboy
That's
themes.
an excellent
that is-
point, Edward.
So true.
Actually, Micah Parsons does do some scenes that resemble Brokeback Mountain from what the Penn State locker room is saying.
Oh, fucking hell.
Wow.
Just, you said they had to draft an abuser, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, he fits both bills. He fits, rapist and abuser. He's perfect for the
Peyton's
Cowboys.
good in cowboy boots, though.
Oh my God.
America's team.
This is going to be absolutely unlistenable. Kev, you're up.
Let me paint you a picture of back in the 80s. Kev, a young lad, hair where tide wasn't going out, blonde, believe it or not ginger, according to Liam, blonde. We used to buy bubblegum, and in the bubblegum was these little teeny helmets of NFL. And you used to put the little stickers on, you used to put the little stripe down the middle. One day, got a nice little white helmet out. Who was on there? Oh, a cool little pirate guy with like a knife in his mouth. He looked like a suave, sophisticated guy. Bucko Bruce. This is the guy that Captain Jack Sparrow based himself on. Who's this dude? He's probably getting ladies. He's drinking rum, yo ho ho. What have they turned into? The creamsicle was a bit garish back in the day. It's trendy now. Let's bring it back. No, let's have our numbers that look like a Casio calculator from the 1980s, throw a load of colours at a uniform, and have a flag on the side of your helmet that looks like it's off a Lego pirate ship. Get out of here, Buccaneers.
Oh, Kev bringing the fucking heat.
When Bucko Bruce stopped getting tail, that franchise died.
There is no worse team to watch on TV in the sunshine, even in that stadium. It's absolutely atrocious. It blinds you. There's the reflection from all those red jerseys or seats if they're not even sending. It's a nightmare.
Now they do have a pretend ship with cannons, though.
They do. That's fair.
How are they good? This team was a punchline for years. Their win record is one of the lowest in the NFL over the last 20 years, and they've won 2 Super Bowls. As a Vikings fan, I feel pretty aggrieved at the fact that we've got a good win percentage, and yet they just got a random couple of players in over the course of their period of time. And isn't Brady like second all time of touch? He's been there 2 years. How is he second of all time? Touchdown leading. It's insane.
They signed Brady and Brad Johnson, and you signed Kirk Cousins and Teddy Bridgewater. There's the difference.
Yeah. Kev taking a strong stance against building a team.
I honestly like the Bucks. The first Super Bowl was because John Gruden had the play sheet for the Raiders, right? And the second one was because the quarterback's Tom Brady. So, weird things happen in the Super Bowl when your quarterback's Tom Brady, and you sometimes get a slightly suspicious rub of the green. But no, I quite agree. I think we should shove them inside their own cannons and send them. Well, I guess you can't get anything worse than Tampa, Florida. So maybe just leave them there.
I've got a place, and with it being me next, I think that we double whammy Miami. Florida, over the top rope and get everyone else from Florida done, because I'm throwing over the Trent bulky Jacksonville Jaguars next. The only place worse than Tampa Bay, Florida is Jacksonville, Florida. And let me tell you, if you want the tackiest uniforms in the NFL, go to Jacksonville. If you want the shittest GM in the NFL, Jacksonville. If you want so many fucking years of Doug Marrone that it doesn't make any sense, Jacksonville. I am sick to death of this franchise. They have never been relevant in any way, shape or form, apart from in 2017, which I am still salty about, that Blake fucking Bortles knocked out maybe the best offense in the NFL that year by a country mile. I'm sick to fucking death of them. Jacksonville, you are not only over the top rope, sunshine, but you are deported out of the United States. You can fucking join us over here in Europe and play against the Frankfurt Vikings for all I care. I don't give a fuck about him. You're only trying to fucking market your team to the rest of us over here because you don't have any fans in your dumpster-ass town over there. Duval County can shove it up its arse.
The only thing that you need to say in Jacksonville's favour is the best thing about them is that they have Jackson DeVille.
Yeah,
that's literally the only thing they've got going that wakes them up in the morning. But no, you're right about Trent Baalke. I was right in the piece that talking of, they can come over here and play the Rhine Fire, because the Rhine Fire are coached by Jim Tom Sula, a man who was hired by Trent Baalke in San Francisco. And when I was writing this piece for the Touchdown this last week, I was astonished to discover that Trent Baalke has hired 3 head coaches in his last 3 years as a GM. Tom Sula lasted a year. Chip Kelly lasted a year. Urban Meyer didn't even last a year. The man is like, I don't know what he must possess like the worst photos of anyone in the league, because how can you keep going back to the well with this guy? It's literally like bewildering.
I resent this. There's so many more teams left who are just fucking boring as shit, and at least there's just an air of chaos about the Jaguars that I can at least kind of, slap on a big screen and enjoy.
Sam,
it's
when
the
was
worldwide
time...
capital of fatal manatee-related jet ski accident.
I'm arguing back. Here.
That's
Nobody's argued back yet so far this time. I'm cutting a fucking promo on them because they were literally called Clown Town last season. I am fucking no team that's called Clown Town should ever be left in. I'm voting out 2 fucking clowns, and somehow one of them lasted this long.
I can help settle your debate for you, Tom. If this was 20 years ago, the girl who Urban Meyer was dancing with, it'd probably be a nonce.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
she could have been a
still
fucking
really.
embryo, so yeah.
Can we just mention the swimming pool corporate boxes at the stadium in one of the most obese states in America? I mean, whose idea was that?
Wait, wouldn't you want to slosh around in a giant tank filled with
I don't
other
want to sit
people's
there
piss
watching
while
fat
you
people
watch Trevor
sloshing
Lawrence
that?
overthrow his receivers? You telling me you don't want to do that?
Kieran, you're telling me you're watching that?
Sorry, I
receivers are
can't
marginally
believe
better
that
now,
they're
though.
corporate swimming pools. It's like when it's not a match day, you can hire them for team away days.
I bet they are filthy things. I'm not having you do
That's what happens when you live in a state with no income tax. People just get fucking out of their minds.
Oh, I'm glad we settled that then.
It is
Look
the
at Miami.
Batman's organisation, to be fair.
Look at Miami. They're so fucked from the Florida Sun. They drafted Tua.
Oh.
Hey, he's great in the short game.
So is Kyler Murray.
This isn't golf, Sam.
Oh my god.
Who we
Ben.
got next?
Ben, find us some centre. We've gone a bit off kilter here.
Well, are we? Is it my pick now? Then is this
Yeah.
what-
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
Trashy shite.
Yep.
Always have been. Trashy uniforms, trashy fans, trashy team. It's all. Let's be honest. Just win, baby. It's always been trashy ownership. I don't give a shit about sentiment of Al Davis. I don't care about any of that. They've moved to a place where you've basically got kind of hungover fucking morons kind of probably Googling what kind of symptoms, chlamydia gives you, from the night before, that they can't remember what they've been fucking doing. It's just, it's a soulless franchise.
His name is Hunter Renfro.
Well, he's quite prolific in the slot, but I didn't know that was what you meant.
Imagine the hairlines of some children in Las Vegas in a few years' time.
I feel genuinely sick after that joke, Ben. That was horrible.
He can fuck off with his shit haircut as well.
Haircut makes it sound like it's a choice he made. Nature made that choice for him.
No, he makes the choice. He drives out of town to go get it.
He's a millionaire. He could fucking afford Rogaine.
And the Raiders' most overrated receiving core in the NFL, I think.
I was about to say, I mean, let's be frank, Hunter Renfro's hair is not the most egregious hairstyle on the Raiders. We're talking Mike Davis, right? That thing's horrible. It's like a lampshade.
Mike Davis, yes, 100%.
Oh no, Hunter Renfro's got the same haircut as Kevin.
What do you mean Raiders haven't got a Super Bowl?
Something that annoys me about the Raiders is that they moved to Vegas, and for a trashy organization, they declined the opportunity to create a partnership with something place called the Pirates Booty in Las Vegas, which is a strip joint or like a brothel, who were offering the players like discounts, and they turned it down. I mean, it couldn't be more apt if they tried. It's pirate-themed brothel. What more does he want?
Yeah, you prick. You're fucking millionaires. You can pay 350 quid for an hour.
So that's where Bucko Bruce has been.
Just hooked up to an IV.
They still remain the franchise which people wear clothes of but have absolutely no idea about the NFL.
It's because of Ice Cube 25 years ago, and they're still living off it because that's why he was on stage with them.
The oldest opinion I've ever heard. Jesus Christ.
What?
They're not even cool. Like when they're in like Oakland and LA, like you got like the crazy fans and everything. It's like it does have an element of like genuine, like okay, that is quite interesting. But now it's in Vegas, and everything in Vegas is fake and tacky. And the black hole is just has gone from like okay, that's actually something you would respect to a joke.
Yeah. It's a black hole of financial disorder. We're not even going to get into that because that's a relatively sensible argument. So fuck that.
Fair enough.
All right, Sam, you're up next. Who are you throwing over?
My first instinct here was to immediately throw the Commanders over. And then I thought that they'd survived this long. I'm kind of in on it now, you know? Let's take command. Let's do it. So I was
Russell
like,
Wilson just joined Washington with that catchphrase.
I didn't know you were a big AAF guy. San Antonio Commanders fan, huh?
Yeah. So instead, I would like to tie a giant piece of cement to the Seattle Seahawks, float the ring over the Atlantic Ocean, and really get them wet. They are going nowhere. I hate Pete Carroll. He's too old. He's too old to be there. Or is there anyone that old doing anything vaguely important? Like it defies all logic. They've got Drew Lock or Geno Smith. That's the choice they've made. They have chosen this. And
the aged was sitting here thinking, well, we've not been attacked yet. And
Surely,
now
he's hit the one last demographic.
Surely the president is older than Pete Carroll.
I resent someone that old. I think that's all.
Not only someone that old, but being in a position of power, Kev.
It simply comes down to them being too old to respect.
It's like when people say that like elderly people should have to redo their driving test. He thinks he should have to get his like NFL equivalent of his UEFA badges.
He should. Get him fucked off.
Sam, you're a veterinarian. Have you ever had to deal with a real life sea hawk?
They're few and far between. I've had to deal with a sparrow that fell in some petroleum, but that's about as close as I've gotten.
If you put that sparrow that fell in petroleum in your hand and you held it really tightly and attempted to throw it as hard as possible, that's what the Seattle Seahawks training camp's arms are going to look like. That's how the ball's going to be coming out.
Oh my god. I feel like this is a good time to move very swiftly on to James, who Edelmania is running wild is now his new Zoom name.
I thought I'd mix it up. It was Bill Bellyberg before that, so I'm just. I'm just going to play it tactically. I'm going to get rid of the last New York team, and I'm also going to get rid of the last team in the AFC East. I'm getting rid of the New York Jets. Well, sorry, the New Jersey Jets. Get rid of them with the terrible uniforms. The fact that they're ruining Robert Saleh's career. The fact that they thought they were getting. They thought that they were going to get Patrick Mahomes, and they're actually getting Nathan Peterman. Yeah, just get rid of them. I want out. And they drafted like the fourth worst running back with their second round pick. So yeah, get out of here.
How have we allowed this to happen? How have we as a group not seen this?
What, the Jets?
No, the fact that the Patriots are the only team left in the AFC East.
Well, just like how in all of the rest of the NFL, usually nobody sees the Patriots, and then they show up.
Nobody sees us coming. Like the Spanish Inquisition.
It's purely because I decided to play the wild card and get rid of the Bills.
You just have such a visceral hate in your heart for Josh Allen.
Yeah, both of them.
There's that moronic chant as well, isn't it, from the Jets fans that just sends you under? I think that's a fair enough reason.
Which one? The Jete?
They have to practice their spelling. They're not very good at it.
It just reminds me of Chelsea fans.
G.
Well, I feel like we could have predicted this.
Yeah. I mean, we all need to do a better job of safeguarding it for Royal Grumble 3. Kieran, you're up next, mate.
I can't believe no one said the absolute fraud Kansas City Chiefs yet. Can you imagine?
That's what I said.
You got a fucking coach who looks like he's reading the Wendy's takeaway meal every time he's fucking got his little play sheet out. They've got a quarterback who, despite being worth $500 million and owning stakes in the Kansas City Royals, still puts ketchup on well done steak. He's married a woman where, if you looked in the dictionary, her picture would show next to the words white trash. She danced along with his corny ass brother on Sean Taylor's memorial. They dance on the sidelines every fucking game. They spit the dummy on Paul Waters on Ravens fans and Bills fans just because they're so fucking up their own ass. They don't realize that sometimes your husband has to lose a football game despite the refs helping him out on every single fucking play. Whenever they play a good team, they get fucking exposed. When they played the Bills, they nearly fell because I know that last 13 seconds is crazy, but let's be honest. If the overtime rule was fucking different, it would have been Bills versus Bengals in the AFC game. And everyone would have liked that because guess what? At least when the Bengals and Bills are playing each other, the fans are quite nice. But no, we had the Kansas City Chiefs, a bunch of self-absorbed fucking TikTok pricks who didn't even know this team existed until the year after they drafted Patrick Mahomes, because that's all that matters. He got fucking 50 touchdowns, but the next year he regressed to the point where he was barely catching up with Ryan Tannehill, who only played 7 fucking games. I'm sick of this franchise. I'm sick of Kelsey. I'm sick of Andy Reid. I'm sick of all the other cunts on that team. I'm glad Tyrann Mathieu's gone somewhere else because he fucking deserved better than having to play alongside Dan Sorensen, a man who every time I look at him reminds me of a fucking fruit loaf.
He's still playing Dan Sorensen. Dan Sorensen also went to the Saints.
Well, fuck the Saints then. They're a bunch of cunts too. It's just the shittest franchise in the league. Up until you had Patrick Mahomes, your most successful quarterback. What was it? Fucking Alex Smith? Some shit? Just a waste of space. Dog shit fucking franchise, and I hate every fucking thing about it.
I love how we're currently 14.
Had Joe Burrow's dad, Len Dawson, smoking that cigar in that famous picture. Remember that?
I love that we're currently 14 eliminations in, and we're still getting this much vitriol. I'm absolutely loving it. We hold a lot of hatred for the league that we all love.
You can't be a good franchise when you say can't catch puts up more receiving yards than your quarterback has passing yards over the course of a single game. Suck a dick, Chiefs fans. You're all pricks.
All right.
And they're fucking babies on Twitter. We get it. You lost.
Remember when they put Jordan Love's mum in that seat right at the top of and she had to watch Jordan Love score like one fluky touchdown to Alan Lazard from approximately 3 nautical miles away.
Oh, Christ.
I'm bored with Kelsey. I get that. I'm kind of bored with Kelsey. I get it. You're a white guy. You like a beer. Oh, hilarious. Let's move on, Kelsey. Come on, man.
Yeah, there'll be some stories.
Stunning attack on many, many people in the
He's not even the best Kelsey. He's not even the best Kelsey in his family.
The only problem with Travis Kelsey is he's the bit too into fashion. Like, he comes in looking like Cam Newton most of the time with his zany fits. Besides that, he's just a frat boy who still thinks he's 21.
God forbid a man like some interesting patterns and hats.
He should just wear the Jason Kelsey Championship parade garb. At least that look good.
The mama's gear. No, that's what they're called. That Philadelphia outfits are called mamas.
Gross. All right, let's move on to Simon, who...
I'm back. All right. I might have to upset some people here. Let's kick the Vikings over the top rope, okay? Nothing against anybody here, and it's not really about the Vikings as a traditional franchise. Really, I quite like them, to be honest. It's more, firing Mike Zimmer has deprived me of one of my favourite autumn Sunday pastimes. That is the Vikings inevitably having, I don't know, a 30 to 35 yard field goal, missing it, and seeing his face on the sideline. That death stare he gives kickers, it's phenomenal. It's how many kickers he got buried in his patio now? Blair Walsh, Kai Forbath, Daniel Carlson, Dan Bailey. Anybody else, guys? You'll know better than I will. They're all gone.
Who was that guy they traded
Greg
with
Anderson.
the Ravens for?
Carrie Vedvik.
The next big thing.
They're all gone.
Never been seen again. That geezer.
His wife's gardening on top of them as we speak. They're all gone, mate. So we're going to miss that, aren't we? I think, as a general rule. That was something special there. I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed it back in the days when Tom Coughlin did a similar thing.
That red face just is so red as well. Just looks.
Yeah, like
Even
furious
with his eyes-
isn't even
even-
there, let alone whether to watch kickers miss. I think it's the whole bitterness about it. I love it. He hates football, but he just happens to be good at coaching it. And you've deprived me of it, so you're gone.
Yeah, but
There
the
you go.
art form really reached its peak when Paul Allen thought that one against the Cardinals went in, and he was like,
Joseph, come on! It is good! No, he missed it! Are you kidding me? He missed it right. He missed it right.
I have that literally queued up still on the soundboard from that episode.
so
And I was waiting to play it as soon as Simon mentioned that Zimmer got the angriest about all of his kickers being complete dog shit, but only in purple.
He drafted one in the 5th round and then fucking booted him straight away. Like, this one kick, get out of here, man. Like,
He's
what?
ruthless, Liam, and we're going to miss it.
It's unbelievable.
I'm surprised the Vikings made it this long. I mean, with the litany of awful things about the Vikings, I'm so impressed that they've made it basically halfway. That's basically it. Who's next?
It's Max.
It's me. Well, I'm going to continue in my what's the phrase? My well-furrowed...
well-plowed furrow.
Yeah. I'm going to continue along my well-plowed furrow of being the wild card. But I'm actually going to evict my own team, the Green Bay Packers, because I'm sick to bastard death of them at the moment. First of all, okay, it's really good that every year I get to come on this podcast and be like, we went 5-1 against the division again. You guys are a bunch of scrubs. You're never going to be better than us. And that might be true. But then the comeuppance that is every single year they lose in a pathetic playoff game in just comedic circumstances. The one against the 49ers, that blocked punt was the most predictable thing that has ever happened. Everyone in the world knew that game was going to be the special teams gaff. The whole identity of the team is that you're meant to be a team. Oh, you're hard men. You play in the snow. You come to a snow game and you lay an absolute egg, and then you fail to come to a deal with, one of the best receivers in the NFL. He leaves. You're like, that's fine. We've got Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb. Okay, the quarterback is obviously a massive weapon who has. He's just like, oh my God. If Ben thought dealing with Russell Wilson was annoying, dealing with Aaron Rodgers is interplanetary levels of annoying. The first time I met the rest of the Salt guys was during that first Aaron Rodgers appearance on the Pat McAfee show. And I was sat there in Ed's Drive in a fold-up camping chair, reading my Twitter feed live and wanting to commit some sort of high-grade arson. I mean, I'm just like, come on. Sort yourselves out, please. You're embarrassing me.
Is there anything more sanctimonious entitlement than a Packers fan getting rid of his own team because they disappoint him? I'd love to be that disappointed every year. I would love to be that disappointed every year.
Well, are you not that disappointed every year?
No, no, I'm not. I could be more disappointed.
You get anesthetized to it, don't you?
No, I can't. I've had it with them. I mean, I'll still show up next season like an absolute sucker. But while I'm thinking about it, I've got time to fume on it and just, yeah, come on, Title Town, show me something.
All right, Liam, it's back to you.
How we doing? Right, next team I'm throwing over are the fucking LA Rams. Do you know what? I've always hated them for no reason. Absolutely, St. Louis Rams since then. Jeff Fisher, couldn't stand his mustache, couldn't stand his face. Used to hate their defense. The defense was dirty as fuck. Fucking took out Teddy Bridgewater one time when he was sliding. Then we had to watch Sean Hill for a fucking rest of the game and another game, and it pissed me off. I hate the uniforms. They changed them again. They look shit. It's the shittest one you could have picked. They had the perfectly blue uniform there, and they just picked a shitty fucking blue one. They were shit on All or Nothing as well. They were fucking boring. They were boring on Hard Knocks. I just don't like them. I've never liked them. They signed a keep to leave for 1 year, and it just made it even worse for me as well. I couldn't stand that prick either. And Rams house. It's my house. You can fuck off and shut the door on the way out. You're going over.
Does anybody else get upset about how Sean McVay remembers everyone's name? But not only does he remember everyone's name, he makes a point of saying it back to them as if to show everybody else that he's remembered everyone's name.
Sean McVay's memory is really fucking irritating. Does anyone remember like a few years ago when it got sort of brought up like, oh, Sean McVay can remember exactly everything that happened on every play that he's ever witnessed? And I was just like, who the fuck has time for that? Go outside and touch grass, you fucking weapon.
He just looks
Fuck
like
me.
the worst. He looks like the worst secondary school PE teacher you ever had.
Yes. Are you saying? Are you saying it, Sam? Are you calling it?
Done. Another thing about the Rams is they've got the most overrated quarterback in the entire league.
Oh, he's back with his narratives.
No, I won't. I can't accept that.
No, I'm not taking that.
No, you're a piss take, Max. You're a piss take.
I'll take that.
What's his career winning percentage? I'd like to know.
I'll definitely.
I know, but he's got a fucking.
Oh, I never had
ring.
anything in Detroit.
QB wins out of stat, are they?
Calvin Johnson?
Did I miss something, or is Sam Darnold still kind of 2 feet firmly on the ground?
What?
Sam Darnold?
Who the fuck's Stafford?
Is still here?
Oh,
Like-
I get you.
Oh.
I get
What
you.
are we,
Oh, yeah.
What are we doing here? What does this
No,
accomplish?
let's go. The Patriots are still here. The Commanders are still here.
Yeah, there's a lot of other
The
teams
Panthers
here.
are still here. If we're not careful, we'll get a Patriots Falcons last two.
Oh God!
I think just one last thing on the Rams. I think Sean McVay and the Rams need to get out because Jared Goff nearly stole his wife off him. So that's sad.
I at the start of the season went into a massive tirade about how what the Rams were doing is not how you build a franchise, and then they won the Super Bowl. So I hate them. Get out.
To be fair,
You made me look a clown.
Notable spotter of winners, Kev, Vikings fan. Clearly saw something in that one.
They value the underdog, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, I'd rather the team be more likable, says Ed. Even though he's still got Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins on one offense. Oh, I'd rather. I'd like them to be sentimental with all these losers.
It's offensive, all right.
We've gone back to Vikings slander. This is bad. It just happens.
I mean, it's my pick next now, and I had to think about this long and hard, and I realized that the teams that I dislike are still like more present in my mind than the team I don't care about. The blandest team left is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes,
They're going over
true.
the fucking top rope, and I can't believe they've lasted this long. They've just got rid of a nonce. Antonio Brown was there for fucking years, and the worst part about that team is the people. They're abhorrent. Oh, Yins is always so great. We're going to Super Bowl. Just piss off.
In
These are the
fairness,
worst
you
people.
did get rattled by the Gan to Super Bowl thing when it was clearly a joke from literally everyone in Pittsburgh. But I do agree with you that
No.
Yinzers
This
are
business last
the
year, like,
worst.
they could make it into the Super Bowl, and you were giving it, in the first week of the playoffs, Tom was like, they do have to play the Chiefs, but there's a chance, and we were like, there is no chance. There is no chance at all.
Hey, there's more chance of winning the Super Bowl by getting into the playoffs than whoever the Vikings played.
Yeah,
but yes.
Fuck the Steelers, man. Don't try and defend them. Fuck the Steelers.
I think there's something to say that Mike Tomlin's pretty cool, but if my wife was on the show, the Steelers would have gone first. She's a Ravens fan, and she's never forgiven him for staring at the scoreboard that time on the field with Jacoby Jones returning that kickoff and pretending he didn't know what was going on. She, to this day, she calls him a cheat every time she sees him on the screen, and she doesn't really give a fuck about football. She just hates him so much, and I think that just something that I never really had a chance of voting the Steelers. I don't think it was too low down my list, but I had to mention that. Sorry.
Next up, we've got Kev. Who have you got?
This is interesting, actually, because I'm approaching mid-40s. I know I don't look it, but I am. And I'm constantly getting told that I'm repeating myself like my dad. So I am going to repeat myself, what I did last year. There is a team still left there who pride themselves with their fans on above average to good and above good play. It's not good enough for this franchise. No, sirree, not for the Eagles fans. It's not good enough. Oh, no, it's not good enough for these fans. You might be able to get away with that somewhere else. Not here. You can be great here, but that's still not good enough for us. And you've still not fixed the bell. For God's sake, fix the bell. Get out. Ding, ding.
And the fans eat horse shit as well when they win the Super Bowl and destroy their own city. The fans are absolute dog shit. I can't stand them pricks. They're high on my list. I'm glad someone's fucking finally got rid of them.
You know your fans are dickheads when you have to go around the city greasing up lampposts as a member of a city council just so your fucking fans don't fall off it and crack their heads. They're like Bills fans in their excitement, but they don't put a table down and drop head first.
This is the worst take from this entire thing yet.
Sam, the fans are bad when during the pandemic they had to pipe in booing to simulate their actual fans.
Yeah.
They hold that badge upon their hearts and they climb to the top of the nearest lamppost in their vicinity and they shout it from the bottom of their hearts.
They had a sign.
That's a crime.
They had a sign slagging off a 99-year-old fucking lady before the Vikings game against them. They're fucking horrible.
That is pretty funny, actually.
They throw batteries at children. Why would you do that?
Has anyone considered that they might not have great vibe?
Fuck them, the little tax
children was
burdens.
shitty.
Fucking hell.
They're fucking most famous for a fictional character. Fuck off.
They're more famous for 5 fictional characters or 6 fictional characters because I'm pretty sure that It's Always Sunny crew are more famous than any Philadelphia Eagles player.
I think Bill Burr made it pretty clear about how terrible a city Philadelphia is, where they made a statue of Rocky, but not one of the many black boxers that comes out. They're just a terrible group of people.
They do stink.
They do make a good cream cheese. I'll give them that.
I was about to say, you know your city's fucked when you're named after cream cheese.
Go Birds. I like the bell. Jalen Hurts, year of years.
Oh, that's another thing. Who the fuck decided Jalen Hurts was a franchise QB?
Ed.
Has he shown
have to be a
anything?
franchise QB.
Probably
Why are you
Kieran
so
in
obsessed
the draft pod that we do every year. No doubt. First overall one he Kieran that year. Was that Kellen Mond?
Jalen Hurts. I thought he was all right. I didn't think he was first round. What do you mean? Like, let's be honest. If you look at him, he's an all right quarterback. He's never going to win any awards, but he's got good legs, decent enough arm. He's just not top shelf guy.
He only has to be all right. They have such a good team.
This is how I can tell you're a Giants fan. Sam? You are not worried about the quarterback play.
What, the Eagles?
What part of the Eagles terrifies you as a Giants fan?
Okay.
Other than their fans. Yeah.
Firstly,
the projectile batteries.
Firstly, Jordan Howard being a backup literally everywhere else but the lead back in Philadelphia.
Firstly,
Right. No, I'm not even going to let Sam get this take off.
birds
Tom.
are scary.
Yeah, I'm cut him off. Get out.
Firstly, birds are scary. That was the point there.
What a pain in the ass. All right, I'm gonna do myself a favour and start a feud with Kieran here because as part of my you will always have a Vontaze Burfict tax. I'm throwing the Cincinnati Bengals over the top rope before they reach the top 10 because I simply won't allow it to happen. They up until last year had the worst uniforms in the NFL, and then they changed them to something that was actually pretty nice. I'll give him credit for that. However, Vontaze Burfict literally tried to break Le'Veon Bell's leg 5 times. He knocked Antonio Brown out and ruined his entire career by making him a fucking brain-dead moron. I'm sorry, you get fucking Burfict tax. I don't care how fucking likeable Burrow and McPherson are. You're fucking repugnant for doing it. The Bengals for like the whole Marvin Lewis tenure purposefully went out of their way to be the Dallas Cowboys without the money. They stink. Repugnant. Get them over the fucking top rope. Bye. See ya.
To be fair, to Vontaze Burfict, none of his hits were breaking down a bathroom stall door of a woman inside like your best ever quarterback. Joe Burrow, without a doubt, top 5. Jamar Chase, best fucking receiver in the league. It's not even a contest. I won't hear arguments on that. You're just jealous that a new team has come around in your division and has let you know, hey, you guys can't do shit no more.
Do you remember
Mike
when
Tomlin's a
Cleveland
great
said
coach.
this last year and then went 7-9-1?
Yeah,
because I remember
the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I remember when repugnant Cleveland were chatting this much shit last year. When we finally got a playoff win. We're going to finally do it. Oh, we've got a young core. Oh, great! How did that turn out, you fucking orange bastards?
They didn't make it to the Super Bowl. I'll say that much.
They didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but
with no O-line.
Fucking, it doesn't matter. They're over the top rope. They're gone. They're out. You can proclaim your fucking Joe Burrow's Daniel Bryan point. I don't give a flying fuck. He's out. He's gone. The Bengals are out. Let's move on. Fuck
Tom,
me.
you forgot to mention Eli Apple.
We did forget to mention Eli Apple, but
Hey,
in fairness,
no slander.
I'm glad that you covered it because Eli Apple didn't. Ooh. Everyone stayed on mute for that, but I got some great laughs for that. Yeah.
Well done.
I was gonna say, pretty sure he graded out higher than Joe Hayden, but we'll move on.
Joe Hayden's literally like 33 and was in his final year. Come on.
Eli Apple went to Ohio State. Everyone has their disadvantages.
Come on. Let's go.
Ben, you're up. Stop this.
I can't understand how we've allowed... Well, I can, because he's a fucking weasel, Dan Snyder. How? How has this happened? Nothing ever gets Dan Snyder. Teflon Dan. You know, he's the modern-day Al Capone in that sense. So everything's deflected. Everything's moved away from him. Sexual harassment scandals that just happen year after year after year, just drip-fed through, and just nothing is more shocking. It's just normal. It's become the norm. So we've got that. We've got all sorts of things. Use of racist, misogynistic, homophobic language. How is none of this? You know, how's he not been bounced? Misappropriation of funds. You know, just general financial impropriety. For fuck's sake, withholding gate receipts, for crying out loud, from the rest of the owners, the other owners who refused to get rid of him. Congress is involved, for crying out loud. And you know why? The other owners don't want to get rid of him, because they're scared of the dirty fucking laundry that's going to come out of the basket based around what they've done and what they're responsible for. So to be quite frank, this is perfect, you know, that this guy and the Commanders have got so far, because they've got an absolute weasel, a disgrace of an owner running that franchise. We've not even touched upon the name, and obviously, how long it took them to kind of realize, just people's general kind of feeling, the consensus about that. It's just outrageous. The Commanders need to go, and it's simply because of Dan Snyder. I'm not even going to talk about.
How do you feel about the new name?
I couldn't give a shit. I don't mind it.
It's not a racial slur.
Are you
that
aware that
is
there are many Commanders in Washington?
I mean, it's the capital.
Sai, Dan Snyder, non-swatch, yes or no?
Yes.
There we go.
That and much more.
Can I just say they throw their own fans over the top rope? A load of them went over the top rope. That shitty stadium, man.
Yeah.
They literally almost killed Jalen Hurts.
Exactly, the fucking shithole stadium, man.
Then they had the raw sewage pouring out onto fans who were paying $400 for a ticket.
Yeah,
it's and I don't think enough emphasis is placed on how bad the name was before they check. Look, the Chiefs fans are pretty bad with their weird racist chant and the fact that the team's got loads of native iconography. But the fact that you had your team named after a slur, you have got to be fucking dizzy to think that is okay in any fucking plane of existence. That you're like, yeah, we're going to call it a racial slur, and then we're going to appropriate ceremonial dress from their culture, and then we'll call everyone soft when they make us change it.
I didn't know this was real. I thought they were going to win. This was like Empire Strikes Back. No. Okay, just me.
I like it, Kev. Oh, God. Sam?
Patriots.
No! Oh, thank God! Yes!
There's the Falcons left, the Texans, the Panthers, I think still. But all of them, I'm not nearly as bored as I am of the Patriots. They achieved such high highs for so long and then crawled their way back through the gutter to mediocrity and expect to be held in the same regard. No. Just go away for 30 years like any respectable franchise would do, and then come back by the time Bill Belichick's burn food.
I'm just gonna
Not about it.
I'm just going to say that Mac Jones had probably one of the best rookie seasons for a quarterback in about 10 years, with Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne being the best wide receivers on his team.
Justin Herbert was 2 years ago, right?
And one of the best offensive lines.
Yeah. More like
that's been really tough for him.
Yeah, it must be terrible for him to throw 198 yards over the course of 9 games. Oh, Mac. Oh, he had the best. Oh, he didn't throw an interception because he threw 4 times.
Yeah, but
the longer this goes on, the more Tom's going to be doing that voice.
Who made it to the Pro Bowl? Who did the gritty in the end zone at the Pro Bowl?
Fucking Mitchell Trubisky made it to the goddamn Pro Bowl.
That's another reason to get him over the fucking rope, because he's doing the gritty at the Pro Bowl.
James, no one cares about the real reason.
Stance.
I mean,
he's just another
Patricia and Joe
which I
Judge.
consider to be derogatory.
Patricia and Joe Judge calling the offense this year.
Oh yeah, Patricia's a piece of
it's
shit.
This whole we know more than you know. It's tiring now, and it's over, isn't it? We'll take Cole Strange in the first round. Get out of here, lads.
Exactly. The narrative has ended.
That was such
Strange,
a fucking 5-head pick as well. That was one of the picks that Bill Belichick always makes me oh, I'm fucking smarter than you. We get it. You're a fucking genius. You're probably the best coach who's ever coached football ever.
It was definitely this year's
Leatherwood. You don't need to pick Cole
Leatherwood.
Strange to prove that. You don't need to do that. You could have picked someone else, but oh no, you got to have Cole Strange because you got to have everyone up your ass talking about what a fucking genius you are. Also, your son has a mullet. Get fucked.
Cole Strange is definitely going to be a 2-time All-Pro and then end up on the Titans in 5 years.
Hey, we're going to trade him to the Bucks when he's in his prime or something. I don't know. For a
fifth, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of James, you're up next.
So I'm going to probably upset someone here. I'm going to vote out the Amber Heard of the NFL. So let me explain. So, okay, on paper, they're quite good looking every year. You know, they look quite good. They promise quite a few things, but every single year they get caught up in their own lies because they lie to their fans the fact that they're going to be a really good team. They always try and promise things that they never can deliver. I'm going to kick out the Chargers.
How has this happened? How has this literally happened? We have the fucking Texans, Falcons, Panthers, and Lions still left, and we're kicking out the fucking the sweethearts. Oh God!
Sorry,
this is such a nightmare.
The Chargers, they lie to their fans and tell them that they're going to be a great team and they're going to do great things, and every single year they disappoint.
This is outrageous.
The Grumble is cancelled.
Outrageous.
Genuinely,
it's cancelled.
And look into a great player to hang on to just by the fucking toes for years and years and years, and then just fade into obscurity.
Got the best uniforms though.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
they do be looking good.
Justin Herbert is going to be a superstar. This hurt. Like, as a Bengals fan, there's this really fucking weird media narrative that's pushed that people want to do Burrow versus Herbert all the time just because they came in the league at the same time. But
the answer's Josh Allen's, isn't it?
Exactly. And I really, really missed on Justin Herbert. I don't think he was being good as he was, but I couldn't have been happier for how he's developed as a player. This is just absolutely scurrious allegations to put towards the Chargers. They're a fantastic team, and Brandon Staley is a beast.
Look at that trying to kill.
They got
JC trying to kill Tyrod Taylor really with a fucking needle.
Just like
they would have even played. They would have even played
in Hollywood.
Right, everyone, straw poll now. Raise your hands if you thought the Chargers would be in the final two.
Yeah. Ben knew that James was going to vote him out because Ben and James are both fucking franchise nation fucking. Look,
if I wasn't going to do
that's the only reason you didn't raise your hand, Matthews.
Okay, we are down to, if I'm not mistaken, 7 teams, 4 of which have a losing record in this last year,
and 3 of which are in the AFC South, which is like the most boring milk toast division. And whichever team we end up with, we all have to stand behind. This is a careful selection process.
Yes, this is how we pick a team of salt for 2022.
You're damning us here right now, everyone.
I should have never got rid of the Packers.
It's all right because Liam was immediately after, and I can guarantee Liam was throwing him over the top rope instead. If you didn't,
them fuckers would nearly gone first. I just didn't want to sound bitter. Cheese-headed motherfucking twats. And I can't stand the fantasy price, Max. I don't even know you, mate, but fuck you.
Who's next?
It's Kieran.
He's going to throw the Steelers out a second time. We're reaching first take Max Kellerman levels.
Hey, don't fucking think I'm Max Kellerman. Fucking boxing fan. What a knob. Gonna do it. I'm gonna get rid of the Atlanta Falcons because they're just a fucking excuse of a franchise. Like, your whole team now is a fucking meme. Like, let's be honest, what's the first thing you think of when someone says Atlanta Falcons? 28-3, right? By show of hands, that's what you think of, correct?
I was thinking of Ito Smith.
No. 1999, Vikings 1999, 98-99, pain.
Oh no,
suffering.
28-3 is when they played
pain.
relevant. Is when they played a relevant team, so you don't need to worry about.
Oh, is that when you supported a different team? Okay, I'm with you.
Fuck them. LSU till I die, baby. You expect me to fucking cheer for some fucking dude who runs a 6-second 40 and
support LSU then, not the freaking Bengals.
Hey, Joe Burrow's there. I'm following my guy. I'll probably change teams in fucking 20 and Walker Howard. Yeah, the Falcons are just a bad team. They are a meme. Fucking Dan Quinn for a start. What a fucking idiot. Then you have Kyle Shanahan running your offense and going into a Super Bowl. The only person I know who chokes more are kids who can't read warnings on small toys with small parts. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's poorly mismanaged. It's poorly managed. The owner just, his suits are shit, bro. Like, you are not in a 1920s gangster movie. You don't need to dress like that, bro. You're a fucking you're a fucking football game in Atlanta. Just wear a fucking t-shirt and jeans, you dickhead. They're just a terrible team.
It's not in like Supreme. He's an old man. He's an old
I
man.
give a shit if he wears Supreme. He can go to fucking Old Navy and get a t-shirt like this. But why are you dressed like fucking some gangster? It's not Bugsy Malone, bruv. This is an NFL game. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know. The behind the scenes at Home Depot is very. It's like it's honestly like, is he the Home Depot guy?
When a team called Atlanta United is filling out more seats in your anus-shaped stadium than your fucking billion-dollar NFL franchises, you've got a problem. And you know Atlanta United are shit because do you know what their minor league team is called? Atlanta United 2. This city is not known for originality. They're a bag of shit and no one cares about your retractable roof that looks like a cat farting. Get them out.
Do you know if this is a real Royal Rumble, I don't think the Falcons would even be in it, would they, at the moment, the way they are? I think they'd be like one of those 90s wrestler called like Mike Wolf or something who doesn't do anything but show up on a Thursday night and just get his ass handed to him by a real wrestler and fucks off into obscurity again. It's kind of what they are right now.
The Falcons
really.
are Doink
They'd
the
be
Clown.
stuffed into a locker.
Do you mean they bring joy to millions?
We haven't got time to get into this with Sam because I know he's going to have something to say about it. But their fucking gradient uniforms are a disgrace.
Oh yeah, they're gross.
Hideous.
Look like an arena team.
Do you know, Mike? Shut up, Sam.
Of
Shut up.
everything that's mentioned. It's about American culture.
Shut up. Someone made a point earlier about how the Buccaneers are the worst team to watch in the sun. I will argue the Falcons every single day because their pitch is
1000%.
fucking whitewashed like their fans right now. It's a disgrace.
It's like watching Blair Witch.
Oh, it's awful.
Everyone here wants to think that you can like dissect some kind of meaningful like adult opinion out of this, but you just watch men with like big hard hats run into each other, and you try and like, ooh, line tape. Oh, the uniform.
Sorry,
aren't subtle enough.
You've got
Just
a
accept it
total
for what
lack
it
of legs
is.
to stand on that you've resorted to questioning the entire sport that we've all committed thousands of hours into carefully dissecting, and you've broken it down into men with hard hats running into each other. That may be true, but you'll never convince me that those uniforms are good. You'll never do it.
Yeah, they don't look. They
don't
look like
know
Arena
whether you
League
should-
in my eyes. It's nearly as bad as the neon green Michigan State ones.
I don't know whether you should paint that thousands of hours brush onto everyone, but
Right, come on, Si. What's next? Who's next?
All right, let's go serious for one. The way they did the dirty to David Culley last year, I think was indefensible, and I think the Texans have got to go for that. That was bang out of order. Bottom three talent roster-wise. You know, they had a quarterback controversy they had to overcome. They had to play Davis Mills from the start. And by the end of the year, they were a good football team. You know, they won 4 games out of the last 6, I think it was. And 4 wins was 4 more than anybody predicted the whole season. And yet they still fired him because they knew when they hired him 12 months earlier that the guy was a patsy. He was absolutely only going to be there for 12 months, and they didn't care about it either. They still, I had a little bit of hope that they have to keep him for a year. He waited all of his career for a head coaching shot, and he got it. He took almost a poison chalice, as far as I could see. It wasn't a great job to take. He did a fantastic job there. I mean, in tough circumstances, and yet they still had the balls to fire him. I think that was disgraceful behavior. You know, it's also a franchise that's been comically ran for the past 10, 15 years. You know, they've had some quite good talent in that franchise. You know, in fact they dominated the AFC South for a good stretch as well. Yet they've thrown it all away. I think there's a great story about Jack Easterby and his rise to power in Houston, which is finger of the NFL. He's like, where the hell did this guy come from? It's like me just putting a suit on and swanning into an NFL franchise and deciding I've got a job there. All of a sudden, he's somebody. Fuck off with that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to like the Texans for a long time after that. I mean, the fact they hired Lovie Smith after it, I want to see how many wins he gets this year. Because, I mean, is he still running that Tampa 2 defense? I think it's all with his beard, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, as far as I can see, the Texans, I think we've just slept on them a little bit. They're the kind of wrestler hiding in the corner and getting away with it. But now now the numbers are thinning out, we can all see who they really are, and over the top row they go.
He overachieved. A cesspool of oil and filth.
I can't stand
Jesus,
Bill O'Brien's chin either. I can't stand Bill O'Brien's chin, so that's another reason to get him out.
Texans are the road dog, just holding on to the bottom rope for like 40 minutes in the late 90s.
They're honestly like, yeah. I mean, like the 4 wins is such an overachievement. Lovie Smith has legitimately had more talent, Illinois, probably, and Davis Mills. When I think about Davis Mills, I'm just getting like a slightly sleeker version of Mike Glennon as like the core image of him in my head. And the very thought of Mike Glennon is physically repulsive to me.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. I'm recovering from a sickness. Anything tangentially related to Mike Glennon has got to go.
Nah, Davis Mills has a way better neck.
If Davis Mills went on like if Mike Glennon went on like half the rides at Alton Towers, he wouldn't survive them with the G-force. I think Davis Mills would survive at least 85% of them. It's fine.
No, he was having steroid injections that were supposed to go into his arm to help with recovery, but it was the Chargers team doctor and they stabbed him in the neck. Now his neck's beefy. He looks like Corey Taylor.
It's like that scene in The Simpsons where Mr. Burns gets that jab that turns him into an alien.
All right, Max, there's 6 teams left. Who are you throwing over?
Me? Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting to get this far. I'm going to get rid of the 49ers because this is sort of simmering. This has been simmering away for like over a year now, and I think we need to like come out and confront this and get in front of it. Is Trey Lance a guy who can play NFL football? Because he barely played in college. They picked him highly. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan's the darling of certain corners of NFL media. So they're like, Shanahan's got his guy. It's going to look great. It's going to be brilliant. He barely played last year. Jimmy G was, he was injured. He was a liability. Trey Lance wasn't getting in the team. And Jimmy G was expected to be traded. He's still on that team. It's getting to the point now where I'd be shocked if Jimmy G isn't the week 1 starter. And if Jimmy G is the week 1 starter, then Trey Lance is just, I don't know. It's like you put Mr. Sheen on Jordan Love. Like that's basically what you're dealing with. And Jordan Love was drafted at number 30 as a motivational tactic. So, that's highly concerning to me. And the other thing I hear about the San Francisco 49ers is the stadium's crap. They had no fans when they were crap, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, they've got these fans who've been there since the 70s. No, we saw what Levi's looked like in 2016. The sun is just blinds everyone there, and also like 49ers, that's not really a team name. Call yourself, if they call themselves San Francisco like sourdough bread boys, then they garner some respect from me. But
name of the podcast right there.
Ridiculous.
I love it because it's the stupidest reasons from this entire venture.
I actually thought that was my most pertinent analysis yet.
No, you hit the nail on the head with Trey Lance as well. Not to be like that guy, but like I have taught high school level quarterbacks. I know what quarterbacking entails. Like it's no, but like
I've played Madden too, mate.
Laugh all you want, but I had a kid go D1. It's probably nothing to do with me, but he still went. So when you work with quarterbacks, the first thing you got to look at is the mechanics from the feet up. Trey Lance can't throw a fucking football. Now, no doubt, he's got a fucking rocket arm on him because the fact that he has that weird fucking Carson Wentz front foot, he's working against his own fucking body every time he throws a pass, and that's going to be his downfall. We saw it with Josh Allen. He got the footwork right, threw 40 fucking touchdowns or whatever, just went beast mode. But Trey Lance, he's been in an NFL team for over a year now, almost. He should know how to throw a fucking football properly.
And they drafted that.
He's just bad. And then, on top of that, they fucking fucked my boy Kaepernick over. Disgraceful.
From the last thing, which we haven't even talked about in this podcast, fantasy football.
Oh, no.
I can't even remember the guy's name. The 3rd round running back they got drafted.
Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon.
Yeah, Trey Sermon. And all the fantasy analysts are like, this guy's plug and play, Shanahan's offensive system. Comes in, gets concussed on his first snap and drops the ball. And then that was basically it. like that. They had a disastrous draft last year, and they're going to be paying for it this year.
I seem to remember, Max,
Shanahan's-
you wouldn't trade me Trey Sermon at one point in the
Yeah.
Salt one.
Yeah, I know.
This might not be the big
quite a
brain
large
take
percentage
you
of the
think
reason
it
why I'm
is,
so
Tom.
They were always shit as well. They always used to beat the Vikings week 1. It used to piss me the fuck off.
I also want to give a shout out to Rita Oak at Rita_Oak_art. She is drawing a cartoon of Jimmy G every day until he gets traded. Please go and check out that. It's absolutely wonderful.
I've been enjoying it very
Genuinely
much.
wonderful.
Rita's going to have to get a new pencil set because that guy is not going anywhere.
You can't pay him 26 million though, but they're going to have to because
They might have to plug Debo in at quarterback. Seems like the only fucking option for that team going forward. You've got a FCS kid who can't fucking throw a football properly, but everyone fucking comes on themselves because he
It's
threw
fine.
28 touchdowns and no
I'm sure they
picks
can get.
against guys who aren't even getting drafted in the 6th round. And
I'm
then
sure they can get CJ Beathard. Like, he's not doing anything, is he? They just put him back in and win 5 games.
fuck it, Nick Mullins.
One of my favourite things about, before we move on, is that the one season when Nick Mullins turned up and outplayed Jimmy Garoppolo, I remember me and Ed having a little like chat, and Ed genuinely believing that Nick Mullins could be a star in the NFL.
I stand by it. Nick Mullins.
That being said, though, obviously I hate Jimmy G because he's so fucking handsome. He took it all up, and that's why I look the way I do. But he genuinely, they have a way better record with him on the field than when he's off of it. Say what you want, he can manage a game.
I'm just going to point out something really quickly. Nothing like proves the imbalance between the two conferences in the NFL that we've got the Lions and the Panthers in the NFC representing the NFC up against the Colts, Titans, and Ravens that are left.
This is an unmitigated disaster.
Liam, who are you throwing over the top rope out of those 5 Titans, Warriors?
I'd throw over the fucking Lions. I felt sorry for them. That's why I voted for them, mate. But they haven't won a playoff game since fucking 99. They've sold the quarterback. They were cheering for Matt Stafford when he won the fucking Super Bowl. That's how fucking desperate they are. They're cheering for a guy who's not even on the roster anymore because they've had
He's not even that good.
He's good, mate. I do rate him. But I just fucking the Lions are just shit. I mean, Michigan. I've still got no interest in fucking ever visiting Michigan. Detroit's a shithole. I mean, fucking,
No, weed is legal there. It's a nice place.
well, fucking.
Is that the one criteria you have?
No, it's just the only thing going for the city. I thought I should probably mention it.
Yeah, it's Motor City. It's fucking. They can do well, mate. Fucking get them off. Get them out of here. No NFC North team is winning this, so fuck off.
Not a big M&M guy, huh?
They're shit, man. Detroit Lions are shit. Fuck off.
I feel like that pretty much moves us on to, Ed.
Yeah, Liam's taken the sort of the bread right out of my mouth. I'm gonna have to switch to the Tennessee Titans, who are a team based on their color palette alone. I cannot believe they've survived this long. They're like an off-brand, like a sort of one of those like Pepsi White that never made it to order.
Yeah, it's like weird off-brand Dr. Pepper that's like
Dr. Fizzy.
GP Brown.
And like the most horrible thing about
Fizzies.
watching the Titans is the Nissan Stadium, whatever it is, those fucking like red floodlights. That gives me more anger than, I don't know,
Actually
the time
seeing red.
Yeah, the time when Emma ran over my foot in the car. Like, I just cannot get over the fact that the Titans are still here. There's so much to like about the Titans on-field product, but everything about them, just watching a Titans game, just makes me want to vom. And the other thing is no team looks good against them. They clash with everyone. Because they clash with themselves, they clash with everyone.
Remember back in like 2016 when they would have the Color Rush Thursday night games and the Titans had that powder blue and they would play the Jags in that like Dijon.
They always played the Jags as well. It was always every
the key
Thursday.
matchup. Lovely.
I actually own that blue Titans jersey.
The powder blue one wasn't even that bad, but when he matched against the Jags, well, the Jags one was a crime against humanity. But it goes to Ed's point that like that powder blue is hard to play off against anything else, especially when they're coming with like their light coloured away kits. So honestly, the other thing about the Titans is like they traded away AJ Brown, and I don't even think they really needed to that much. Like they could have held on to him. Derrick Henry is like one of my favorite football players to watch over the last 5 years, but I mean, running backs, it takes its toll, and like I think they might have peaked, and their peak was like when they had that battle with the Ravens about dancing on each other's logos.
Oh, one final point about the Titans, and it's the same point I had about the Cowboys. What about the Titans is Titan themed? There is nothing Titan themed.
Derrick Henry's a big boy.
Yeah, he's not on the logo.
He is. The worst thing about them drafting him is, though, it took them 2 and a bit years to figure out how he actually worked, when they could have just watched Alabama tape and realized,
Deion Lewis shared it with Deion Lewis.
Yeah, when you've got washed up DeMarco Murray, you've got to play that.
But like,
the other thing about
obviously he's a physical mountain of a man who can bowl anyone over, but that's not what he did at Alabama. He was a speedster. You've got to let him get to the edge and make his own space. And they're like, no, I formation every fucking play.
The other thing that annoys me about the Titans uniforms is that they would be the best in the league if they just went back to the Houston Oilers ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they just refuse. They simply refuse to, and they insist on soldiering on with this absolute joke with the little T swords on the sleeves.
And they were the Oilers for their first year in Tennessee, so it's not like they haven't done it.
You have to do that.
I mean, it's just
the NFL make you do that. The NFL make you do that when you.
I was under the aware that they had.
No, you have to do that for the first year until you can change it. Did you know the eye rolling emoji on Twitter was for the hashtag Tighten Up? That's where the eye rolling emoji actually came from.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I am absolutely completely having you on, but clearly it was made for that. Tighten Up. Oh, hilarious! Wow. I feel so pumped.
Do you know what gets me pumped?
Just like strange fact, the Titans game is the first US game I've seen in the US, and I went and hoped to get tickets for Volunteers against Gators, and I couldn't get tickets for love nor money, and I ended up going to Titans against the Browns. When this was when they were both when Jake Locker got injured, shock. Clipboard Jesus came in. And Johnny Clipboard was on the sideline, and there was about 40,000 people there, when the day before at Knoxville there was 98,000. And I just thought, this is dreadful. Get them back to the Houston and have the Oilers, please.
Now, just because you absolutely had all of us on strings with your rolling eye emoji fact, I think that this fact is also bollocks. So I'm going to call you out on that. But
I own a Frank Wycheck jersey because it was bought for me at a garage sale. That
we're doing
wear
two truths and a lie
like,
or something.
I'm not wearing this. I'm not wearing another team's jersey. I'm not doing that. This is just not happening. And it was his
Why
pass.
did you say garage that way?
Garage. It's my pick, isn't it? For the last, that's it. And so I've got like the sort of the death scythe to decide who makes it.
Sophie's choice, as it were.
Yeah, well,
there is no outcome.
It's not really,
to this,
is
which
it?
isn't hilarious.
This is shit. This is crap. This is
This is pretty.
I don't even like the team.
They are a storied franchise.
This is pretty straightforward for me. On our own podcast, we draft out our divisions. I got the NFC South. I was disgusted with it, with how dreadful everyone's salary cap was. I was disgusted with the state of this roster from start to finish. They had no plan. They've not had a left tackle since 2013, since Jordan Gross retired. They finally sorted that out, but they've still got they obviously, with the other stuff, Darnold on the 5th-year deal, the McCaffrey contract's a joke. It's no surprise the Panthers are going over the top rope. They have a half-baked QB selection, giving up future capital, and then afterwards came out and said they had concerns about his maturity and given up future capital. And let's talk about the annual league meeting where Matt Rule turned up. Clearly he'd lost his luggage, went to the nearest outlet, asked for a 42 waist and a 32 leg, and they didn't have a 32 leg, and they gave him a 42 waist and a 42 leg. And when he's standing there with everyone else, it looks like somebody invited the painter and decorator. Get over the top rope.
How have the Panthers, this team that doesn't have a quarterback, that doesn't
Famously
have
the third best team in the NFL.
Yeah. How
It's
have
just
they
really
made it
funny.
this far in what is essentially next season's power rankings done too
No, that's
early?
not what it's-
Because they're
hiding under the
irrelevant
ring all
and
this
forgotten
time.
about.
They've
It's
been
just been
hiding
really
under the
funny this
ring.
year. Like when Matt Rule said he had to, his job depended on him hiring a rock star offensive coordinator, so he hired Ben McAdoo. And then Ben McAdoo came out and said that Sam Darnold was the week 1 starter, and then immediately said, "I wasn't supposed to say that." And when the new owner was like, "Well, you know, you've been struggling," like they asked him about the struggles, and he was like, "This is kind of harder than I thought it was going to be." And then they were going to build their new headquarters in South Carolina, and then they just decided to stop doing that. They've just been really funny. So I don't begrudge them getting into 3rd place because they've been an endless source of entertainment.
Just they're irrelevant, I think. So they kind of got forgotten about, fallen by the wayside. Everyone knows they exist, but no one really bothers to acknowledge it.
So they'll acknowledge it when the Mayfield Darnold Cam battle starts. That's going to be good.
And it was wonderful just to watch Cam Newton scream, "I'm back," while trucking into the end zone, and then as if to announce his presence even more through 2 interceptions. Yeah, we remember who you are, Cam Newton.
So that leaves us with the choice of which of the which is our collective favorite NFL team.
I mean, I'm actually all right with one of them. I'll throw this out there and say I'm fine with one of
Don't
them.
fucking. I've never seen someone that so desperately craves like a fucking old statesman at quarterback.
I like a safe pair of hands at QB.
Do you
Right.
want to?
All
Do you
right.
want to go around the room and
Yeah.
ask everyone which team they want to throw over?
Yeah,
and
so
why, and
just
one
in case,
reason why.
anyone
sure.
hasn't
We'll
been keeping
do it
track.
in the order that I've got it on the Zoom call. Kieran, you're up first. Colts or Ravens? Who's winning the Rumble for you?
No, who's going over?
Who's going
Wait,
over?
who is it?
Right.
Who was going over?
We'll throw the Ravens over because I don't want to have to play that defense twice a year.
All right.
No further
Fair
comment?
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom,
Oh.
you're up.
I'm also going to throw over the Ravens, but purely because I like the Colts and Jim Harbaugh tax. Fuck that guy.
My pop filter just fell off. I do apologize. Ben, Colts or Ravens?
Oh, it's got to be the Colts, Jim Irsay. I just the kind of oligarch I don't really like. So yeah, Colts gone for me.
Sam, who you got?
The Colts are going over, baby. I don't want to watch Matt Ryan like underthrow garbage receivers. It's already a failed prospect.
Fair enough. I mean, I suppose we are playing it right down the wire at this point. There's an element of jeopardy to this now. Si, who've you got?
We'll throw the Ravens over. I do want to watch Matt Ryan underthrow garbage receivers. This is a franchise who prioritizes massive foreheads like mine's getting. Like Peyton Manning first, now Matt Ryan. I mean, what's not to like about that? Come on, sign me up. Yeah, I'm with the Colts. Throw the Ravens over and piss my wife off. That'll be lovely. Job done.
You stand a big forehead king.
Liam, who you got?
I'm throwing the Ravens over the top rope, to be honest. Do you know why? It's because of Joe Flacco. I couldn't stand watching that geezer play at quarterback. And then he won the Super Bowl. He got that massive contract. And then every single Raven fan you chat to have to defend him. He's one of the best quarterbacks. He's absolutely awful. Like that contract was hampering them for ages. And they still defended him to the death. I just couldn't stand him, and I can't stand him. So that's it. The Ravens go over just because the fans had to defend him. He's a twat.
I mean, what are your views on his sort of like glittering career in show business once the NFL thing grinds down?
Was he a could have porn star or something? I didn't even know he was doing this.
Yeah, isn't he writing a musical?
Oh yeah, he fucked.
I don't know. I thought that was. I thought that'd be more the kicker, wouldn't it? Justin Tucker. Wouldn't he be the opera singer, isn't it? Well, fuck him then. Is he? I hate musicals, so he can fuck off.
Nah, it's all right. Ravens fans love making a song and dance out of nothing.
There you go.
Whoa, zinger!
Right, we're in the home straight. James.
I'm going to kick out the Colts just because it's going to upset Tom. It's going to upset Mark on our podcast, and I feel like they deserve to stay. I like the Ravens. I like them.
Fair play. Kev, who have you got?
I don't mind either team. I've not got anything against either team, but I'm a big Lamar man. He's exciting to watch, and long may that continue. Go Ravens.
All right, Max.
What's the score right now, by the way? It feels extremely close.
It's currently 4-4.
Oh my god!
Which means, Max, I think you might have the deciding vote. Because Ed, are you gonna take a vote?
I'll abstain from this, so we've got an odd number. So we're definitely gonna have a winner.
Oh my god! No,
the pressure all falls onto the man who's. Can his
you could
stomach
have the deciding vote, Ed? You could do that kind of power play and just have the deciding vote.
What, my vote counts?
Yours
too?
counts too, like away goals, which can't double. Apparently, that never makes sense.
I thought about for this. I really thought about the fact that the Ravens were ripped from Cleveland, and then I realized that the Colts were ripped from Baltimore, so that neither team really has an advantage in that perspective. I think I'm going to get rid of the Ravens because crab cakes are overrated.
And so there we have it. The official team who've made it all the way through the gauntlet, the battle royale, over 32 other teams or 31 other teams is the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh Christ!
Oh Christ!
They're so bland. They're the most bland team in the world as well.
The real reason I actually got rid of the Ravens was because their scoreboard has got that big raven with the red eyes. I just think that looks absolutely naff. I think it looks crap. And every time Justin Tucker boots a massive field goal, I have to look at it, so it ruins the experience.
Oh God!
I hate the squawk as well. The Ravens.
You don't like that every time they get a first down.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, like the Panthers have the cat growl as well.
Oh, God, why a third and second, like the two most... and the Falcons have also, who somehow made it into the top
that was
10.
horrible.
Yeah, the Lions
the squawk.
Sorry, it's Tottenham. The squawk.
Oh, God, it's so loud and obnoxious. Just...
Sounds like someone snatching a pigeon.
I'm actually quite glad that the Panthers and Falcons are so bad that they don't get enough first downs to make it irritating right now. Like when they were good, like when the Falcons made the Super Bowl, it was like every bastard 30 seconds we were going to have to hear another bastard squawk because Julio Jones had made another unbelievable play. Oh yeah, here's your joyous moment, Julio. Squawk! Fuck off.
That's the final word then. That's the sign off on our official declaration that the Indianapolis Colts are going to be the ones to watch in 2020.
I want you to remember that you chose this because you don't like shellfish.
I didn't say I don't like shellfish, but the manner of shellfish delivery I think is crude. And I think there's a better way of doing it.
I've never heard someone call a
Crude
crab cake
from a Packers fan. Cheese boy.
Sorry, when you mash something up and you mix it with like potato and deep fry it, it's like you're trying to hide it.
Sounds delicious.
It does
crab
sound
cakes
good.
Are fucking good.
Yeah, crab cakes do sound really
that's
good.
That's what a fish cake. That's what I made last Saturday night. You're calling what I made for tea last Saturday night dreadful?
No,
it's called crude.
First of all, it was
put it on him, Kev.
Yeah. You didn't make it the entire identity of your entire being.
No,
I did on
let's
Saturday.
be fair. People from Baltimore's entire identity is based around the Maryland state flag. That shit is ugly as fuck, and they stick it on everything.
Oh, right.
I thought holding a host position on this podcast meant that my respect for you had already bottomed out, but you just kept on digging.
Jesus Christ. All right. there you have it. The official winners of the 2022-2023 Royal Grumble are the Indianapolis Colts, courtesy of Baltimore Crab Cakes. This podcast is actually sponsored by Baltimore Crab Cakes. So thanks, Max. You've just lost our only source of income.
Because when you're in Baltimore, you get crab.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that did join in. Go check out Ben and James at the Franchise Nation. Am I right in remembering that?
That's correct.
Did I read that right? Check out Kev and Liam at NFL Draft Punks, Simon Cowell at the Touchdown, and Kieran.
That's not his name.
What?
That's not my name.
Did I say Cowell instead of Carrol? That was more a Freudian slip. My bad.
I'm sure it was.
Simon Carrol from the Touchdown and Kieran from the full 10 yards. Yeah, we'll hopefully see everyone very soon to give us some extra predictions. But thanks, lads. It's been an absolute fucking blast.
Peace out.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
It is.
Ed, closing final remark.
Just that again. Thank you everyone for coming and spilling your hot takes all over this. It's been quite lovely.
Oh, fuck the Packers.
That's what I'm
crab
saying.
cakes, Mac, you dick.
I'm to throw Old Bay in his eyes.